نبيه صلى الله عليه وسلم. أما بعد، فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما مثل الجليس الصالح والجليس السوء كحامل المسك ونافخ الكير. فحامل المسك إما أن يحذيك وإما أن تبتاع منه وإما أن تجد منه ريحا طيبة، ونافخ الكير إما أن يحرق ثيابك وإما أن تجد منه ريحا خبيثة، أو كما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hope everyone is doing well. Inshallah, we'll start shortly. Just waiting for a few more brothers and sisters to join, then we'll get started, inshallah. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we'll start shortly. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Starting with Surah Al-Furqan, starting with starting with 19th juz. وَقَالِ الَّذِينَ لَا يَرْجُونَ لِقَاءَنَا. So inshallah, we'll have a look at ayah number 28. Okay, ayah number 28 is still the first page of 19th juz. يا ويلتى ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا لقد أضلني عن الذكر بعد إذ جاءني وكان الشيطان للإنسان خذولا. Just looking at this ayah. Okay, 2 ayahs after. So looking at ayah number 28, يا ويلتى ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا. Oh, I wish I had not taken that person as my friend. Right, so who is saying this and what's going on? Just giving a little sha'n nuzul. Now, ulama say this is general. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, people will say, people will wish and they will say, Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila. I wish I had not taken this person as my friend. He is that person, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, to those who have just joined. He is that friend who I wanted to do good, but he was that one friend who kept me pulling back. I would go towards the masjid, but he would call me towards the clubs. I would want to give sadaqah, but he would force me and compel me to do other things, right? Other than this, what this religion teaches us, other than the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? So this will be for a friend, right? Now, subhanAllah, this will be, this is what we'll cover throughout Surah Al-Furqan as well. Friendship, right? The importance of friendship. Right? Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila. I wish I had not taken that person as my friend. And others say no, this is others say no, this is actually referring to as an incident had happened, and this is the sha'n nuzul, right? Now, what had happened? There's a person in Mecca by the name of Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayt. Okay, Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayt. Now, this person at that time, he was a kafir. right? The kafir at that time, he was a disbeliever, a non-believer. His habit was, the custom was, whenever he would come back from his journey, whenever he would return from his journey, he would invite the leaders and the noble people of Mecca to his house for a da'wah, right? Obviously now understanding that Rasulullah, who can be more noble than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is something they understood, right? They would now see, in spite now they would call different names to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They would call him a kahin, a sha'ir, this, and etc. But deep down their hearts, deep in their hearts, they understood, they knew that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the most noble amongst us. He's never lied, he's never done anything bad, right? So obviously this was something that he had to invite. SubhanAllah, now looking at the generosity of Arabs, SubhanAllah, this is something they still have today, right? when it comes to generosity, when it comes to feeding others, when it comes to giving in fi sabilillah, SubhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them generous hearts. So Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth, he called Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he said, this is it's best suited if I call Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam refused to eat his food, and he placed a condition. Condition was, "O Uqba, you embrace Islam, you say that I am a true messenger, you believe in one Allah, as you know, the Kuffar of Makkah, they used to believe in many gods, right? They used to believe in many idols." So he said to Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth, "You believe in me, believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I will consume your food. I'll come for a da'wah." Now Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth, he said, okay, I'll embrace Islam. I'll just say Allah ta'ala is one, and I'll say you're a true prophet. He did this so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam can come to his house and eat his, and so he consume his food, so he can be there for his da'wah. After the da'wah was, after everything happened, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came, after he embraced Islam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam goes to his house, he consumes his food, and he goes away. A friend of his, Ubay bin Khalaf, another enemy of Islam, excuse me, he goes to Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth and he tells him that, why did you embrace Islam? Why did you do this? Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth, after embracing Islam, after knowing the truth, he says, you know what, this is just a lip service. I just said it so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam can eat, from my house. Ubay bin Khalaf says, no, I don't believe you. I don't believe this is just a lip service. You truly believe that you truly believe that he's a true messenger. Right? I need you to prove it. Right? Prove me wrong. I need you to prove me wrong. So Uqba bin Mu'ayth said, okay, how do I prove you wrong? That it was just a lip service and I didn't really believe in Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he said, Na'udhu billah, I want you to go to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, denounce your faith, and Na'udhu billah, spit on his face. Okay? Denounce your faith and Na'udhu billah, spit on his face. Then I will say, and he said, SubhanAllah, look at this. Ubay bin Khalaf said, I want to know at this point, are you friends with me or are you friends with Muhammad? Are you friends with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? If you're friends with me, then you will carry this, you will perform this task. You will carry this task out, right? You will exercise this thought. So go on, na'udhu billah, denounce your faith and do this. Now, SubhanAllah, what happened was that Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth, he ended up denouncing this is Surah Furqan. This is Surah Furqan that we're doing, ayah number 28. The Sha'n al-Nuzul of ayah number 28. Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila. Now, as a result, Allahu Akbar, these two friends, the same friends, Ubay bin Khalaf and Uqba bin Mu'ayth, they were embarrassed in this world, and obviously in the hereafter they will be punished. Right? They were embarrassed, both of them died at the time of Badr, and for them is a punishment. Right? So on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Uqba bin Mu'ayth, he will say, Ya waylata, I'm saying this again, okay? Scholars say this is general, for everyone. Right? They will say, if a person will look at his friend, that friend who used to invite him towards evil, towards bad. You will say, Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulana khalila, and others say, no, Uqba bin Mu'ayth, this is for Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth, who will say, Ya waylata laytani lam attakhidh fulanan khalila. Fulanan referring to as Ubay bin Khalaf. So he will say on Yawm al-Qiyamah, oh, I wish I had not taken Ubay bin Khalaf as my friend. لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي. Right? Uqba bin Abi Mu'ayth, he embraced Islam. Right? But Ubay bin Khalaf was the one who said that you go and denounce your faith. Tell me and, show your loyalty to me and denounce your faith. Well, now just getting a little and talking about this. Who is a friend, who's not a friend, and who we should befriend. So it comes in a hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, إِنَّمَا مَثَلُ الْجَلِيسِ الصَّالِحِ. The example of a pious friend, a good friend is وَالْجَلِيسُ سَوْكَ حَامِلِ الْمِسْكِ وَنَافِخِ الْكِيرِ. So the example of a good friend is حَامِلِ الْمِسْكِ, the one who carries musk, right? وَنَافِخِ الْكِيرِ. And the example of a bad friend, is وَنَافِخِ الْكِيرِ, a person who blows the bellows. فَحَامِلُ الْمِسْكِ إِمَّا أَن يُحْذِيَكَ وَإِمَّا أَن تَبْتَعَ مِنْهُ. Right? You have your friend who is, who carries musk. This is an example, right? And subhanAllah, look at this beautiful example that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives us, this beautiful metaphor. That, he's like a person who carries musk. Now, either the person who carries musk, he will give you some musk, right? Or you'll buy it from him, right? SubhanAllah, kind of like when you go into an itar shop, right? The moment you walk into the itar shop, two things will happen, right? You will either buy something, you'll either buy some musk, some oud or whatever, or you'll just walk right outside, right? Two things will happen. Now, either way, when you walk outside of that store, you smell nice, right? And it happens with us too. You walk into a cologne store, or you walk into Guess cologne shop or whatever. You go inside, you don't apply any perfume, but the moment you step outside, someone smells you and someone says, wow, you smell really nice. What cologne do you have on? But you tell them, I didn't put anything on, right? That's the effects. وَإِمَّا أَن تَجِدَ مِنْهُ رِيحًا طَيِّبًا. Right? Even if you don't buy anything from him, you'll get this beautiful scent, this beautiful fragrance, right? It'll come onto your clothes. وَنَافِخُ الْكِيرِ. Now the example of a bad friend is the example of a نَافِخُ الْكِيرِ, someone who blows bellows, right? إِمَّا أَن يُحْرِقَ ثِيَابَكَ. Picture a blacksmith, right? Let's say your friend is a blacksmith. You're by that friend, right? إِمَّا أَن يُحْرِقَ ثِيَابَكَ. The flames and or some sort of charcoal will go onto your clothes, right? And there's a chance that it may burn your clothes. وَإِمَّا أَن تَجِدَ مِنْهُ رِيحًا خَبِيثًا. And if that doesn't happen, there is a foul smell. You'll smell bad. And subhanAllah, we can take this as, forget a what's it called? Subhanallah, forget someone who blows into the bellows or even a blacksmith. We can picture this when we're flipping burgers on a grill. Right? You go outside, it's a hot day, you're having a barbecue, right? Summer day, you're having a nice barbecue. You go outside, you're by the grill. Now, when you're by the grill, you don't feel much, right? You can see smoke, and you can, it's going in your beard and it's going on your clothes. The moment you go back inside, those people who don't know that you were cooking and flipping burgers outside, they will ask you, have you been smoking? You'll smell like smoke. You'll smell bad, right? They'll ask you, what have you been doing, right? SubhanAllah, that is the same thing. And SubhanAllah, what's so interesting about friendship, it's that when we have friends, right? Now I'll get to this hadith before I move on, okay? Al-mar'u, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, الرجل على دين خليل, or another hadith, المرء على دين خليلي فلينظر أحدكم من يخالل. Subhanallah. And we'll get into this. We'll talk about this today. A man is on the religion of his friend. This does not mean that a person is a Muslim, he has another kafir or someone who is a Christian. Deen here means that he follows his ways. Okay? فَلْيَنْظُرْ أَحَدُكُمْ مَنْ يُخَالِلْ. So be careful, be watchful of who you befriend. SubhanAllah, this is so interesting. What's so Allahu Akbar. Now I'll delve into this. You have guys who are in sports. When you look at their friends, they'll be into sports as well. Now you can picture and you imagine yourself as well. If you're someone who loves to cook, right? You love cooking. Cooking is your passion. Your friends will be those who love to cook as well. If you're someone who loves basketball, your friends will talk about basketball. They will play basketball as well. right? Al-mar'u ala dini khalili, subhanallah. This is something Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said to us many, many years back. I still remember I was in my class. This was uh I forget the class that I was in, subhanallah. But I believe it was organization. Yeah, it was organization behavior. It was a class, a course that I was taking. So my teacher said, you will always find accountants will be with accountants, guys in finance, they will be with guys, who talk about finance or who are in finance. You'll find doctors, they befriend doctors. You find ulama, they're friends with ulama. You'll find, sorry, he didn't say ulama, that's just, my addition. But he was saying you'll find doctors with doctors, you'll find accountants or with accountants, you'll find HR guys or with HR guys. I said, subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. You talk about this right now. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has said this several years back by saying, Al-mar'u ala dini khalili. That a person, you are how your friends are. Subhanallah, if you want to find, if you want to look at a person and see how that person is, the best way to find out how a person is by looking at his friends. You look at his friends because how his friends are, that's exactly how you will find that person. SubhanAllah. Right? And what's so interesting, Allahu Akbar, you have, this is to show how strong friendship is. Right? You have a basketball player or someone who watches basketball, his friends, and he lives in a community or he goes to school, and his friends only watch soccer. Two things will happen now. Either one of them will happen. This person who's into basketball, either he will start watching and start playing soccer as well, or all of those friends, they will start playing basketball as well. And this will happen, or he will say, you know what, sorry, you guys are not with me, you guys are soccer guys, I'm a basketball guy, I'll play basketball. I'll find basketball friends. SubhanAllah. Right? Now today, when it comes to finding good company as well, right? Today, people say that how can I find a good friend? And I'll get into this as well. Allahu Akbar. I'll get into this as well. Today a lot of parents, a lot of people, they say, what causes, why is my child so depressed? Why is he like this? Why is he like that? SubhanAllah, now here's what I'm going to do. I will connect the dots. Now, if parents are listening and whoever's listening, I will just connect the dots. And if you can follow along, inshallah, you will find out that one of the reasons why our kids are faced with depression, it is because of their friends. Now, I'll get to that. See, we have to connect the dots, right? Everything, SubhanAllah, we have to connect the dots to everything, right? And then it makes sense, right? For example, you have someone who just, you put him in grade 5, you can't just neglect your prerequisites, right? You can't neglect your past. You have someone, you put him in grade 5, he'll be lost. He won't know what to do. You put him in grade 5 math, he'll say, I don't know what to do. You have to, there are steps that he needs to follow. Grade 2 math, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, right? And then he can understand grade 5 math. So similarly, understanding that what is the root, what is the cause, right? Today everyone says, depression, depression, depression. Yeah, so now I'm telling you the cause, right? What causes depression? And how we can save our children, right? So, today first, for starters, everyone says, okay, fine, you're saying to find good friends, I should be with good friends, this and that, but how do I find good friends? A person came to a sheikh and he said, I want to leave, when I find good people, I will join them. Right? So the sheikh gave him a beautiful advice. He said, leave those bad friends. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide you with good friends. Take that step. Right? Today we say, I don't want to leave these friends. If I leave these friends, I'll become a loner, or no one will talk to me. Right? We're not ready to take that step. We're not ready to take that step, and then we expect the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to descend. Right? So he said a beautiful thing. He said, leave this bad company. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will aid you and provide you with good company. Right? You will have, these good people, they will flock towards you, and they will say, let's be friends. Right? Just make that effort. Al-wahda, right? Wahdatul mar'i. As Umar radiallahu anhu used to say, wahdatul mar'i khayrun min jalis as-saw. Okay? Sitting alone, right? Having good friends is better than having bad friends, right? And what's better than having bad friends now? It's that a person sits alone. Right? You know how the saying goes that Speech is uh, silver, but silence is gold, right? Silence is better when a person doesn't have anything good to say. But when a person has something good to say, that goodness becomes better than his silence. That good becomes better than his silence. Similarly, your good friends, right? Now here's the thing: understanding that a person who, an idle man's brain is a devil's workshop, right? When we sit alone and when we don't have anyone to talk to, guess who's working on you? Shaitan, right? Because Shaitan, he devours the lonely wolf. The Shaitan devours the lonely sheep. Remember, a wolf devours the lonely sheep. So, by understanding this, if you have good friends, and good friends, these friends, alhamdulillah, they want you to improve. They want you to improve in this world and in the hereafter. These are good friends, right? If you have friends who, you wish to study, and they tell you, let's go play outside, let's do this, let's do this, let's do, or you want to move forward, but they are being a hurdle. They're being that obstacle between you and your success and your goals. They are not your friends, right? Because a good friend, let me tell you that al-mu'minu min akhi al-mu'min, a good friend is he who tells you your mistakes. For example, and today, subhanAllah, when a good friend of ours tells us something, we tell him that, what, you're against me. So I don't want to be your friend. And then that same friend who, let's say you want to do something bad, you want to engage yourself in something bad, but he pushes you, he motivates you, he encourages you to do something. You say, mashallah, this guy's, this person, he's a good friend of mine. No, what's going on? He's not a good friend. The other person is a good friend because obviously this is the meaning of a friend, right? And the importance of friendship. Okay, now subhanallah, there's so much to say at the same time. I'm trying to wrap everything up as well. Understanding how depression. Now we'll get to this. How our kids are faced, with depression, right? And what is the cause of this? SubhanAllah, this is my analysis. It is their friends. Right? This is my study. How is it their friends? Okay, now I'm going to go delve into some of the details. Now, I want everyone to listen to this carefully, please. I don't want you to get lost, okay? So just listen and follow my steps, okay, inshallah. Understanding, and I've said this before, why do people get depressed today, okay? I'm going to try my best, inshallah, to keep it very simple, okay? Hopefully everyone can understand. I'm keeping it very simple. Why do people get depressed today? People get depressed today because they fail to achieve their goals, right? For example, someone wants a job, right? You want that job. What's it called? You want to become an accountant. You want to become a chartered accountant. You want to do this. You want to become a doctor. This and that. Why can't you now? When you can't reach that goal, you're depressed, right? You're hit with depression. A, because you don't have good marks. You didn't do well in school, or you don't have some sort of financial aid, right? To get to that level, to get to that goal. That's where you're hit with depression. Why were you hit with depression? What happened? What went wrong? Why couldn't you become a doctor? Now that's the reason. Now that's what we have to look at, right? Why couldn't you become a doctor? It's because in elementary, when you when you were told to study, when you were asked to study by your parents, by your teachers, you took it very lightly. Why did you take it lightly? There were those who used to study, right? There were those who used to study. Your friends used to tell you that, let's play around. Let's play around. Let's do this. It's okay. We'll do the assignment later on. Because of this, you had bad marks, and because of this, you fell behind. Then you moved on to secondary. You moved on to your high school. You had the same friends. The same friends. They tagged along, and they told you, let's just, who cares? Call it. High school doesn't really matter. We'll do good in college. We'll do this. We'll do this. Right. Now that person moves into college, right? His friends are no longer there. But when a person moves into college, he finds out that, subhanAllah, that, this is a reality that we have to teach our children as well. Tell them that elementary and secondary, this is when your teachers care about you. College and university, your teachers don't care about you. I'm telling you that from, seriously. Alhamdulillah, I'm enrolled as well. That's why I'm letting you know, right? Because when I see other kids as well, when I see other students, you go to college, you go to university, whether you show up or not, the teacher does not care, right? Why? Because you're paying, right? You're paying $2,000, $3,000 for your course per semester, whatever it is. They don't care. The person goes to school, it's for free. So Everyone takes it for granted. Right now, that person, he's in college, subhanAllah, right? He didn't do well in his academics when he was in grade 11, grade 12. They count, right? Now he's in college. Now whatever the teacher is saying, it goes over his shoulders, right? Now he has to study. Now, subhanallah, understanding this as well. That when it came to elementary, when it came to secondary, if he had bad marks, no problem. You move on. You move on. You had whatever marks you had, you move on. This person, he has bad marks. It's either hard for him to move on, or even if he moves on, he has a very bad GPA. If a very bad GPA, you don't get what's it called? You won't have any work experience, right? Because in order to work while you're studying and to do your internship, you have to have good marks, right? Your GPA has to be like 3.0, 4.0, whatever. You don't have that GPA, so you don't have much experience. Now you don't have much experience. You look for a job. You have that bachelor's degree, but you look for a job, and no one wants you because you don't have experience, right? And then now, subhanallah, you become you become a victim, right? You become a prisoner of shaitan. Shaitan tells you, what, forget these people, now you have this illness inside you, you have this darkness inside you because now you're growing up. Your parents are looking at you and they're saying, what, come on, you need to feed us, you need to take care of us. But now you don't know what to do. No matter where you go, you don't. And some of them, subhanallah, because of those friends, looking at those roots. Let me tell you this: a snake, when a snake bites, right? It isn't just, it doesn't just bite a person, or it doesn't just bite the prey several times, 20, 50, 30 times. Only one, sting is enough. 2 fangs are enough. A drop of venom is enough. That's it. The snake can go away. It can have its, the snake can have his own party and come back after 20 hours. He knows the job is done, right? So these friends, they've done the job, right? They've done that job. They don't need to do anything else, right? So this is what we have to tell our children, and we have to see ourselves as well, right? That today when we have these friends, are these friends, do we only talk about dunya, or do we actually talk about akhirah as well? Because if they own, seriously, I'm telling you this, اقرأ كتابك كفى بنفسك اليوم عليك حسيبا. Right? On Yawm al-Qiyamah, let alone your friends, your parents will be against you. Your own brothers, your own sisters. It's every man for himself. Every man for himself, right? So, subhanAllah, we have to make sure that these people, right? It's either they're with us or they're against us. It's either they want me to do good, or they don't want me to do good, right? For example, you have you run a business and you have your competitors. Now these competitors, obviously they want to take you down. Would you ever befriend them if they want to take you down? No. You would only befriend those who want to see you flourish. They want to see you just they want to see you in prosperity, right? So subhanallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding. And looking at the importance of this, how important it is to have a good friend. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, لو كنت متخذا خليلا. If I were to befriend anyone in this world, لاتخذت أبا بكر خليلا. I would take Abu Bakr as my friend. SubhanAllah. Right? And this is looking at the choice of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. لاتخذت أبا بكر. لاتخذت أبا بكر خليلا. I would take Abu Bakr as my. Who is Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu? Allahu Akbar. When Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu comes on Yawm al-Qiyamah, when he is brought before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, half of his anger goes down. Abu Bakr, one of the merits of Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said to his messenger that the people of Jannah, when they will see me, for everyone, when my appearance for the people of Jannah will be am. Okay? So it'll be am. It'll be in it. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes to show himself, present himself. Only Allah ta'ala knows best. We don't know this. Wali Abi Bakr, but only for Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, Wali Abi Bakr khassan. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu will have that which no one else will have, right? So look at that caliber, look at the merits that that were given to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, merits upon merits, subhanallah, such high caliber. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, لو كنت متخذا خليلا. If I were to befriend anyone, لاتخذت أبا بكر خليل. I would take Abu Bakr as my friend. Today we have, well, we want to make this person my friend because, the same thing goes for our, everyone just, you just want SubhanAllah, everyone just caught up in this, right? The more friends you have, the more, satisfied you'll be, or, the more happier you'll be, right? SubhanAllah, this is some, that we really need to understand. Some kids today, they they want to commit suicide. A friend of mine who was a Mufti, he told me this. He's in the States. He said they want to commit suicide. Why? Because they posted a video on YouTube where they posted something on Facebook. They didn't have enough likes, or they didn't have enough friends to share this. SubhanAllah. I mean, Allah. I mean, I don't know what else to say to this. SubhanAllah. May Allah Subhanahu wa Taala give us the understanding of this. I mean, right? And one dua that we need to make, right? Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min khalilin makirin. عينه تراني وقلبه ترعاني إن رأى حسنة دفنها وإذا رأى سيئة أذاعها. If you have a friend like this, we need to make dua that, Ya Allah, save us from this friend. Right? Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min khalilin makirin عينه تراني وقلبه ترعاني إن رأى حسنة دفنها. Right? Allahumma, Allah Ta'ala, save us from these friends. إن رأى حسنة دفنها. If they see something good in you, like you've done something good, they will hide it. دفنها. They won't talk about it. They'll just say, oh yeah, they'll act as if nothing has happened. وإن رأى سيئة. If they see one bad thing in you, one bad quality, أذاعها. They'll make sure they'll tell, oh, this person, he's like this. They'll be your friends. They'll tell you they're your friends. But if they see something good in you, they won't talk about it. If they see something bad in you, they'll tell everyone about it. Right? Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. So may Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala save us from this, my dear respected brothers. Save us from, these types of friends. Ameen. Now, Allahu Akbar, my dear respected brothers and sisters, coming, to looking at another reality, right? Today, people say, that's my best friend. That's my best friend. And you have people like this. They will tell you, don't sit here. Why? Because Abdullah sits here. Ahmed sits here. He's my best friend. SubhanAllah. When Abdullah or Ahmed passes away, that place is taken by Abdurrahman, or that place is taken by Dhul Kifl or someone else, another name, right? You have been replaced. That same friend who used to say no one can consider this is, reserved for you. That seat, that chair has gone to someone else. That same friend who used to say, no, let's not play first, or let's not eat something, let's not do something, right? Until that friend arrives. Allahu Akbar. There's a beautiful nasheed. Hope everyone can listen to this if you have the chance. It's called Fresh Tarab, right? Dust is my bed. It's very beautiful, right? That nasheed, it really tells us really tells us the reality of this world, right? Those friends, a time comes when your family members, when your name gets mentioned, they cry. Your friends, they cry, and then a time comes, the tears. Your name is mentioned, but the tears are now dry, right? The tears are dry. There was a time when that your name used to come up. They used to cry profusely, right? They used to cry, shed tears. Your friends used to shed tears, and then a time comes, a year passes by, 2 years pass by, SubhanAllah, right? Now tears have dried. Allahu Akbar. The same friends who used to say, I can't do this without that friend. I can't do this, right? Ba'u wafa'ak. They've sold your loyalty. That's it. They used to say, I won't take someone else as my friend. They've taken someone else, right? They've replaced you. That same name that everyone used to call on to, where's Abdullah today? Where's Abdullah? Where's Amr? Where's Bakr? Where's this? Where's that? Where's that? Right? That same, your family members used to call on to that, call on to you. Your friends used to call you by that name. Where is that name today? Nowhere to be found but in the grave, between the two folds, right? So understanding that, this is a choice that we have to make, right? It's either you make me or you break me, right? If you make me, I befriend you. If you're amongst those who are here to break me, then I don't need you, right? Doesn't matter. You may have wealth, you may have all that. I don't need you. Allah. May Allah Subhanahu wa Taala give us the understanding of this. And a sign of a true friend, as as when Sha'ir says, al-akhillau al-rakha'i kathir, that friends at the time of prosperity, there are many. When you're rich, when you have wealth, when you're prosperous, many people flock towards you, right? Many people flock towards you. But at the time of destitution, at the time of poverty, at the time of everything else, everyone runs away from you, right? At that time, when you are hit with, serious financial trouble, look around you. How many people are around you? They are your real friends. When you are affluent, when you have wealth, obviously people will be around you. People will flock towards you, right? When you are sick, find out how many people will actually come to you and say salam to you and say, we've missed you. We want you to get healthy again. How many people will come to you at that time? They're your real friends. Obviously, when you're healthy, they'll come to you, right? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding. What is what called? Someone asked a question. I'm going to answer that question. You said, what is it called again? What's what called? And then we'll move forward, inshallah. Okay, nevertheless, hopefully the person can ask the question again. Moving on to Surah Al-Furqan, looking at ayah number 23. Okay? وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ. Now, from here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of His righteous slaves. Right? Speaks of His righteous slaves. That these slaves of mine, they're righteous. And they will be given rewards, inshallah, in the hereafter. Right? So how can we become righteous slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Understanding this now, looking at ayah number 63, I said not 23, 63, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word ibadur rahman. We are all ibad of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether people acknowledge this or not. We are all ibad of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're talking about Christians, Yahud, everyone, right? We're all ibad of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these righteous slaves of mine, they are ibad of Rahman. Okay, this is a mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is, this shows subhanAllah their status. Who are these people? What are their qualities? الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا. When they walk on the face of this earth, hawna. Right? They don't walk too slowly. It's a soft walk, but at the same time, not too slowly so people look at them, and not too fast, right? الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Now, salama here doesn't necessarily mean that when an ignorant person comes to you, you say Assalamu alaikum and then you just go away, right? Salama here means that a person who comes, this person, and this jahil does not mean necessarily a person who doesn't have any knowledge. It is a person who aggravates you. He'll come to you, he'll taunt you, and he'll try to aggravate you, try to frustrate you. That's what it refers to as, right? وَإِذَا خَاطَبَهُمُ الْجَاهِلُونَ. These righteous slaves of mine, when people come to aggravate them, when they come to aggravate them, قَالُوا سَلَامًا. Right? They avoid this situation. They just walk away from the situation. وَالَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ لِرَبِّهِمْ سُجَّدًا وَقِيَامًا. Right? So this is how they walk, and this is how they talk to people. How about their nights? وَالَّذِينَ يَبِيتُونَ لِرَبِّهِمْ سُجَّدًا وَقِيَامًا. These are those, their nights are not spent in ghafla. Their nights are not spent in ghafla, rather their nights are spent in sujood and qiyam. Right? Tahajjud, salah, different other forms of nawafil. وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ. These are those righteous slaves of mine who say, رَبَّنَا اصْرِفْ عَنَّا عَذَابَ جَهَنَّمَ إِنَّ عَذَابَهَا كَانَ غَرَامًا. Ya Allah, save us from the fire of Jahannam. إِنَّهَا سَاءَتْ مُسْتَقَرًّا وَمَقَامًا. It is a horrible place. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا أَنفَقُوا لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا. This goes for the sister folks, and this goes for everyone. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا أَنفَقُوا. These are those when they spend, لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا. They are not too extravagant, right? Israf, they don't do israf, right? They're not extravagant, and it comes in Surah Takathur. أَلْهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ. What has destroyed you? Takathur. Extravagance. What is extravagance? What is extravagance? Being extravagant. Something, using something, being extra. In simple words, being extra, right? So you have something, it covers your necessity, you've covered your necessity, but now it becomes a want. You have a house, alhamdulillah, but no, I need to build several more houses. Obviously, not if it's not for the purpose of just selling, right? It's just for your own private property or something, right? وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا أَنفَقُوا لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا. They don't do israf. When it comes to clothing, no israf. When it comes to other things, no israf. Just quickly going over some of these ayahs. وَلَمْ يَقْتُرُوا. And at the same time, they don't hoard things. They're not too stingy. وَكَانَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ قَوَامًا. Allahu Akbar. This is the beauty of this religion, right? Moderation. Moderation. That we are not too extravagant. At the same time, we're not too stingy. So we don't do too much and just too little, right? لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا. They're not extravagant. وَلَمْ يَقْتُرُوا. Nor are these people stingy, right? When it comes to spending. وَكَانَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ قَوَامًا. Allah. They are just in between. Right? Normal people. والذين لا يدعون مع الله إلها آخر ولا يقتلون النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق ولا يزنون. These are those, they don't call on to anyone but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ولا يقتلون النفس التي حرم الله إلا بالحق. They don't just kill people, right? إلا بالحق, referring to as-qisas. ولا يزنون. They don't commit sinner. ومن يفعل ذلك يلقى أثاما. Right? Whoever has done this, he has done something grave. يضاعف له العذاب يوم القيامة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the punishment is going to be severe. Right? There is no such thing as a light punishment, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says يضاعف له العذاب يوم القيامة. Their punishment will be doubled, multiplied, right? ويخلد فيه مهانا. They will live in Jahannam a disgraceful life. إلا من تاب. See? That was the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right away Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings us. So that was the adhab. Right away Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings us hope. إلا من تاب. Right, subhanAllah, this is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whenever we find, whenever you read the Quran, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, those who have disbelieved, right away, right after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Or إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنوا, right, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنوا, those who have believed, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, right? Keep that balance. Ayahs of Jahannam and the punishment, right? يُضَاعَفْ لَهُ الْعَذَابُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَيَخْلُدْ فِيهِ مُهَانًا. Punishment, right? Then again, right after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us hope. إِلَّا مَنْ تَابَ وَآمَنَ وَعَمِلَ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا فَأُولَٰئِكَ يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ السَّيِّئَاتِ حَسَنَاتٍ. اللَّهُ أَكْبَرُ. A person who turns back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَعَمِلَ عَمَلًا صَالِحًا, he performs righteous deeds. فَأُولَٰئِكَ, these people, Allah ta'ala will say, these people are special people. يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes those bad deeds, and He doesn't remove them. SubhanAllah. Look at this blessing. Allah Ta'ala doesn't remove those blessings, those bad deeds. Rather, He transforms them. Right? He turns them into good deeds. يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ وَكَانَ اللَّهُ غَفُورًا رَحِيمًا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very forgiving. وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَشْهَدُونَ الزُّورَ. False testimony. Right? وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. Whenever they pass by places, remember I said lahu. Lahu is that place, that something which does not benefit you, excuse me, in the hereafter, right? وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. For example, something is happening, right? You have a concert or something that's going on, right? Or something else is happening that's lahu, waste of time, right? You don't just stay there and start watching. You just go by, وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. You just walk by. Because it has nothing to do with us, right? And we can, subhanAllah, it happens with us as well, living in the States and living in Canada, you see different festivals and different concerts going on, against Islam, right? Their teachings and what they're doing against the teachings of Islam. And some of us, we say, let me just see what's going on. Let me just go there, let me just see what's going on. And, and then at times, we tell ourselves that, the same, subhanAllah, the same goes for fireworks. Right, same goes for fireworks on July 4th, July 1st, right? We have all these fireworks, but it's all lahu, right? It's just a waste of our times and waste of everything, right? People say, let me just go by and see, look at the fireworks and see what's happening, subhanAllah, right? But this is, then again, that's not their quality, right? That's not their quality, that these righteous slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they go by and they sit in those gatherings, right? وَإِذَا مَرُّوا بِاللَّغْوِ مَرُّوا كِرَامًا. Just quickly go by these gatherings. And now this one, subhanAllah, the next one, Allahu Akbar. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِّرُوا بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ لَمْ يَخِرُّوا عَلَيْهَا صُمًّا وَعُمْيَانًا. You know what this is? Allah, WhatsApp. WhatsApp, and I'll get to that right now, and I'll explain. وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِّرُوا بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ لَمْ يَخِرُّوا عَلَيْهَا صُمًّا وَعُمْيَانًا. When ayahs, when the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are revealed to them, or whenever they come before them, presented before them, لَمْ يَخِرُّوا عَلَيْهَا صُمًّا وَعُمْيَانًا. They don't just close their eyes and they're deaf and they just accept it. Right? Today, my dear respected brothers and sisters, this is, fortunately, and it's sad to say, this is the case with some of us. Right? For example, we'll find something on WhatsApp, like it'll be your WhatsApp status, or you'll find something, it'll be a forwarded message. It'll say, do this, and this comes in hadith. There's no reference to that hadith. It'll be a hadith, and it'll say, if you don't share this with 100 people by the end of today, you're not a real Muslim. Allahu Akbar. I'm serious. How many of us, subhanAllah, wa alaikum assalam, to those who have just joined, how many of us, subhanAllah, we've seen messages like this? This other time I read, when about a year back, something was going on. Obviously, you had the New Zealand incident, and you had other things were going on. So someone's, it was a forwarded messages. It was a forwarded message that if you don't recite Surah Duha 300,000 times, then the adhab of Allah won't be uplifted. SubhanAllah. So if everyone just imagine this thing. That everyone just recites 300, even if we recite this. Okay, we're reciting Quran, it's a good thing, alhamdulillah. Everyone, today, where is the thabit from? Right, you have to look at the authentication of it. Fine, let's say someone just prescribed this, right? You give 300, everyone, the Muslim Ummah gets together, we recite 300,000, we can recite Surah Duha 300,000 times. Do you really think this will uplift the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? When people are not ready to pay zakat, when people are not ready to fast, when people are not ready to pray salah, just recite just recite this Surah Duha 3,000 times or 300,000 times, and everything will be solved. Subhanallah, right? And the worst, the worst of messages that I read, Subhanallah, it's that share this if you are a Muslim. Share this only if you're a Muslim. Subhanallah. First and foremost, you have no, this has no validity. This has no verification. Whatever this text that's come to you, that you're reading, and you're saying share this if you're a Muslim, only if you're a Muslim, right? Meaning that if you don't share, you're not a Muslim. So you pray your salah, you go for Hajj, you go for Umrah, you do all your righteous deeds, and you don't share this message, Allahu Akbar, that means you're not a Muslim, right? So وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا ذَكْرُوا بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ لَمْ يَخِرُّوا عَلَيْهَا صُمًّا وَعُمْيَانًا. These are those righteous things. They don't just close their eyes, mashallah, astaghfirullah, it says, I have to forward this, and let me forward it, right? This is just one example I'm giving you, right? Let me just forward this, subhanallah. وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ, another habit of theirs, another quality of theirs is, وَالَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَاجْعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Right? This is another dua that we have to make, that Ya Allah, make our wives and our children the coolness of our eyes. Right? There are those who have wives, there are those who have children, but their children are not the coolness of the eyes of the parents. The wives are not the coolness of the eyes. Right? So, subhanAllah, this is a dua that we all need to make. That Ya Allah, and what is the meaning of coolness of the eyes? That they are obedient. They're obedient, they're righteous, they're pious. وَجَعَلْنَا, subhanAllah. Right? إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. The most honorable in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are those who have the most taqwa. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Ya Allah, make us the imam of muttaqeen, subhanAllah. What could be a better dua than this? أُولَٰئِكَ. Now, this is their compensation. أُولَٰئِكَ يُجْزَوْنَ الْغُرْفَةَ بِمَا صَبَرُوا وَيُلَقَّوْنَ فِيهَا تَحِيَّةً وَسَلَامًا. Their compensation is that they will be given rooms. Now, it comes in different tafsir that this will be this is either a room or now don't think it's a small room, subhanAllah. By room, we're talking about like 10 times the size of this earth. Imagine 10 times the size of this earth, or even bigger than that, right? Room, or it comes in tafsir that it is a daraja. It is a level in Jannah. As I understand that Jannah has many levels. Allahu Akbar. SubhanAllah, just look at this. Wa alaikum assalam to those who have just joined. Look at this. So people asked, Ya Rasulullah, what is this? أولئك يجزون الغرفة. What's this غرفة? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, people, and see, understanding, see, in this world, how you have the rich people and you've got the poor people, right? In Jannah, well, everyone is going to be rich, but rich in terms of a'mal and poor in terms of a'mal, not in terms of wealth. Because everyone will have, even the poorest person, he'll be living in so much luxury. He'll have thousands of servants and so on and so forth. He'll have his mansions, but insufficient in terms of his a'mal, right? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the way people of this earth, the way they look at stars, right? You know how we look at when you look at the sky, you see stars. He said, people of Jannah, they will see khawas people of Jannah. They will see the righteous people and the special people of Jannah, and it'll be as if they'll see them as stars in the skies, or they will see that those rooms as stars in the skies, right? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this house is so special. Just imagine this, subhanAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us these ghuraf in Jannah. I mean, this is a room Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that the inside of which will be seen from the outside, and the outside of which will be seen from the inside. Allahu Akbar. You know how we have our homes here? Someone stands outside. You can't see what's going on. You can't really see what's going on the inside. And even when you're inside, you can't really see. Obviously you have some windows here and there, but you can't really completely see what's going on. So either this entire house is going to be made out of glass, Allahu A'lam, but then again, this is not just cheap glass that we have of this world. SubhanAllah. Only Allah Ta'ala knows best how this is, right? SubhanAllah. So just imagine, it's outside can be seen from the inside, and the inside can be seen from the outside, right? This is something our minds can't really comprehend, right? Only Allah Ta'ala knows best. The Sahaba radiallahu anhum asked, Ya Rasulullah, who are the dwellers of these ghuraf? Who are the dwellers of these rooms, right? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that person, when he speaks, he has this softness, and so softness in speech. Softness in speech does not mean that you speak softly, right? Rather, softness in speech means the way you speak, the way you use your words, right? You don't use harsh words, right? You're not vulgar, right? So softness in speech, the one who stays pure, right? The one who stays in tahara, the one who says salam to other Muslims, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, right? The one who says salam to other Muslims, the one who feeds others, the one who feeds the poor, and the one who offers the night prayer, the one who offers tahajjud salah whilst people are asleep. These people, if you have these qualities, inshallah, you will be dwellers of these ghuraf in Jannah. These, you can call it your penthouse, or you can call it your VIP room, right? Inshallah, these people will be the inheritors and the dwellers of these rooms, right? And bimasi, Allahu Akbar. Look at this. أولئك يجزون الغرفة بما صبروا. Condition here is patience. Right? They were patient in this world. See, understanding, this is what we discussed. Today we won't discuss patience. We discussed it many years. 2-3 days back. Patience, right? Patient over the trials of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world, right? As-sabru inda sadmat al-ula. This one time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just quickly wrapping things up, and then we have to move on to Surah Shu'ara and then finish off with Surah Naml. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he went to a lady who was crying by the grave, a woman who was crying by the grave. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, be patient. It's okay. Allah Ta'ala, وَلِلَّهِ مَا أَعْطَى وَلِلَّهِ مَا أَخَذْ. Right? And it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who gives and takes. Just be patient. So the woman said, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know my pain. So she said this to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that, but she didn't know that was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so someone went up to her and said, you know who that was? That was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So she said, Allahu Akbar, that was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. She goes back to him and she apologizes. She said, I'm very apologetic. I'm sorry. I didn't know you were Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now I'll be patient. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إنما الصبر عند الصدمة الأولى. It's, you know what Sadmatul Ula means? It's that first shock, the first shock, right? Now, sabr, being patient, does not mean, for example, now just giving quickly, you know, wrapping things up, inshallah, and then we'll move on. Sabr, for example, someone, a relative of yours, right? He passes away, right? He passes away. Now, a person cries. Now, obviously, now this does not mean that this person is impatient. Obviously, this is in the fitrah. You know, when you cry, when you shed tears for someone, when you shed tears out of the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is a good sign. It means that you have a soft heart, right? You know, subhanAllah, there are those, you know, so many things can happen, you know, before our eyes, and not a single tear, you know, comes out, right? That just shows, you know, that just shows your heart is hard, right? So this does not mean that you're impatient, right? A person stops all the tears and he doesn't cry. No, he's patient. No, that doesn't mean that. Patience means that a person, fine, you obviously you cry. Let's say someone passes away, you cry over their demise, but you don't complain to Allah Ta'ala, right? Someone passes away, now a person says, you know, why, Ya Allah, why did you take him? You know, his time wasn't. Who are you the one to say that his time wasn't right? This, you know, the time Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has, you know, his life was written for 20 years. Allah Ta'ala had given him only 30 years of life. That's it, right? So it is up to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, right? بما صبروا, they were patient. ويلقون فيها تحية وسلاما, right? The moment, subhanAllah, you know, just imagine Jannah, Allahu Akbar. Just try to imagine, you know, the moment you walk in, everyone saying salam to you. You know, just imagine that. You know, you'll feel like you know, subhanAllah, when you walk into let's say a wedding hall, or let's say you walk into a place, a da'wah, the moment you walk in, everyone's saying salam to you, everyone's saying, oh, salam alaikum, they're saying salam to one another. See, you get that feeling, right? You have goosebumps at that time. You know, sure, it's a nice, friendly environment, right? It comes in Tafseer that the dwellers of Jannah, they will say salam to one another. Angels will say salam. Not only the angels, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say salam alaikum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say salam to the dwellers of Jannah, right? So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to be amongst the dwellers of Jannah. Ameen. خالدين فيها. These people will live in Jannah forever and ever and ever. حسنت مستقرا ومقاما. What a great place, right? And with this, inshallah, we conclude. We finished Surah Furqan. Moving on to Surah Shu'ara. Looking at ayah number 3. لَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ أَلَّا يَكُونُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. This ayah was revealed to console Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Understanding that, you know, if today you have a father, he tells the child, don't do this, don't do this. The child, he gets into an accident. Now he has to pay insurance and all that stuff. The father tells him, look, you already got into an accident, don't do it again. The child, he drives recklessly, gets into another accident, right? He doesn't listen to the father. How does the father feel at that time, right? Or, you know, when the mother looks at disobedient children, that I tell him to pray Surah, I tell my child, I tell my daughter, I tell my son, I tell him to pray Surah, but they're not listening. How do we feel? How do the parents feel? They feel very bad, right? So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, excuse me, he would tell them that fear, because obviously Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his goal was to save as many people as possible from the fire of Jahannam, from the punishment of Allah Ta'ala, right? And to invite as many people as possible to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Because this is the job of a Nabi, this is the job of a messenger, of a Rasul. You know, the same goes for Musa alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, and others, right? So these people wouldn't believe, understanding that at the, you know, the beginning of time, very few people believed, right? You only had few Sahaba, the poor believed, right? Poor believed. Obviously, amongst them were very few who were rich. You know, the likes of Uthman radiallahu anh. Very few, you know, they had wealth, right? Most majority of them were poor, right? And no one was believing. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would call on to them, you know, do this. Then again, the whole story of Ta'if, would go to Ta'if, same thing, pelted with stones, comes back, right? So no one is listening. لَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ نَفْسَكَ أَلَّا يَكُونُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. Allah Ta'ala says, you know, you are sad, you know, you are grievous today because they're not believing, right? So don't worry. So in response to this, subhanAllah, you know, many ayahs were revealed to console Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَالضُّحَى وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا سَجَى مَا وَدَّعَكَ رَبُّكَ وَمَا قَلَى. Allah Ta'ala has not left you. إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ إِنَّ شَانِئَكَ هُوَ الْأَبْتَرُ. Your friend, your enemy, إِنَّ شَانِئَكَ هُوَ الْأَبْتَرُ. He is cut off. Right? Ayahs after ayahs, لَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ لَعَلَّكَ بَاخِعٌ. And فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ قَوْلُهُم. Their words and their saying should not grieve you. فَلَا يَحْزُنْكَ قَوْلُهُم إِنَّا نَعْلَمُ مَا يُسِرُّونَ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ. O Rasulullah, O Messenger of Allah, we know what they hide, we know what they conceal, and what they make apparent, right? So then again, even in this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds Quraysh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds his people that, look, this is the message that prophets before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is something that they preached as well. Their nations didn't listen, and look at their outcome. You don't want to end up, you don't want to have the same outcome, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts narrating stories from the past. وَإِذْ نَادَى رَبُّكَ, right? The story of Musa alayhi salam. وَإِذْ نَادَى رَبُّكَ مُوسَى أَنِ ائْتِ الْقَوْمَ الظَّالِمِينَ قَوْمَ فِرْعَوْنَ أَلَا يَتَّقُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, yeah, Musa, see, remember we did this two days back, for those of us who remember. Go to Fir'aun and tell them, don't they fear Allah ta'ala. قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن يُكَذِّبُونَ. Ya Allah, I feel that they will falsify me. وَيَضِيقُ صَدْرِي وَلَا يَنْطَلِقُ لِسَانِي فَأَرْسِلْ إِلَى هَارُونَ. Remember we discussed this yesterday as well. We won't go too many details. We've already covered the story of Musa alayhi salam. وَفَتَنَّاكَ فُتُونًا. Right? فَأَرْسِلْ إِلَى هَارُونَ. I'll just read this and then the things we need to cover, inshallah, we'll cover them. وَلَهُمْ عَلَيَّ ذَنْبٌ فَأَخَافُ أَن يَقْتُلُونَ. Remember Musa alayhi salam, he fled towards Madian, and because he had accidentally killed that person of Fir'aun. So he says, وَلَهُمْ عَلَيَّ ذَنْبٌ فَأَخَافُ أَن يَقْتُلُونَ. Right? They have this crime over me. They have, just not doing word for word translation, right? Just elaborating. I'm afraid they'll kill me. قَالَ كَلَّا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, they'll never kill you. فَاذْهَبَا. The two of you, both of you go now. Okay, now Harun alayhi salam, Harun alayhi salam and yourself. فَاذْهَبَا بِآيَاتِنَا إِنَّا مَعَكُمْ مُسْتَمِعُونَ. فَأْتِيَا فِرْعَوْنَ فَقُولَا إِنَّا رَسُولُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ أَنْ أَرْسِلْ مَعَنَا بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. Right? That send Bani Israel with us. قَالَ أَلَمْ نُرَبِّكَ فِينَا وَلِيدًا وَلَبِثَّ فِينَا مِنْ عُمُرِكَ سِنِينَ. Now Fir'aun, he reminds Musa alayhi salam of his favors. أَلَمْ نُرَبِّكَ فِينَا وَلِيدًا وَلَبِثَّ فِينَا مِنْ عُمُرِكَ سِنِينَ. Who's the one who took care of you, Musa? We took care of you. You were brought up in our palace. وَفَعَلْتَ فَعَلَتَكَ الَّتِي فَعَلْتَ وَأَنْتَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. And he's reminding Musa alayhi salam of that crime that he committed. He said, first you lived here. See, Fir'aun is talking about his favors. He said, first you lived here. You lived in my palace. You were brought up in my palace. Right? I did your upbringing, and you don't forget that crime that you did. Right? وَفَعَلْتَ فَعَلَتَكَ الَّتِي فَعَلْتَ وَأَنْتَ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. Okay, just quickly going over this, inshallah, because we've already covered this. Yeah, see, then remember Fir'aun asked for a sign, right? قال أولو جئتك بشيء مبين قال فأت به إن كنت من الصادقين. Right? Fir'aun said, فأت به إن كنت من الصادقين. Bring forth a sign, if it makes sense, right? If you're a true prophet, I want to see a miracle. I want to see a sign. فألقى عصاه فإذا هي ثعبان مبين ونزع يده فإذا هي بيضاء للناظرين. Remember the two signs. The first two signs was the staff and the hand, right? So Fir'aun said, قال للملأ حوله إن هذا لساحر عليم. Now this Musa, he's a great magician. يريد أن يخرجكم من أرضكم بسحره فماذا تأمرون. Remember, we discussed this then again, just roughly going over this. Fir'aun looked to his close associates and he said, what do you have to offer? What do you say? Right? So they said, أرجع وأخاه وبعث في المدائن حاشرين يأتوك بكل سحار عليم. Right? Let's gather everyone together. If he's a great magician, we'll present our magicians as well. فجمع السحرة لميقات يوم معلوم. Remember we said this, it was a day, يوم الزينة. وقيل للناس هل أنتم مجتمعون لعلنا نتبع السحرة إن كانوا هم الغالبين. فلما جاء السحرة قالوا لفرعون أئن لنا لأجرا إن كنا نحن الغالبين. Remember we discussed it yesterday as well. When now the magicians come, they ask Fir'aun, أئن لنا لأجرا إن كنا نحن الغالبين. Is there any, is there any, you have any rewards for us? Is there any, you have any, is there, will we be compensated? Is there any compensation for us? قال نعم وإنكم إذا لمن المقربين. Yes, there will be something for you. قال لهم موسى ألقوا ما أنتم ملقون. Musa said to the magicians, okay, you go first. فألقوا حبالهم وعصيهم وقالوا بعزة فرعون إنا لنحن الغالبون. After displaying, after throwing their robes and having this illusion that they were snakes, they said, now we've done our job. We will win. We'll come up top. Musa alayhi salam will come short. فألقى موسى عصاه فإذا هي تلقف ما يأفكون فألقي السحرة ساجدين. Now all of them embraced Islam. قالوا آمنا برب العالمين رب موسى وهارون. We believe in Musa alayhi salam and we believe in the Rabb of Musa alayhi salam and the Lord of Harun alayhi salam. قال آمنتم له قبل أن آذن لكم إنه لكبيركم الذي علمكم السحر فلسوف تعلمون لأقطعن أيديكم وأرجلكم من خلاف ولأصلبنكم أجمعين. Right? I will cut off your arms. Right? So meaning, من خلاف means the right arm and the left leg. وَلَأُصَلِّبَنَّكُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. Thereafter you'll be crucified. قَالُوا لَا ضَيْرَ إِنَّا إِلَىٰ رَبِّنَا مُنْقَلِبُونَ. Now it doesn't matter. They know they're on the right track. It doesn't matter what you do to them, what you do to us. إِنَّا إِلَىٰ رَبِّنَا رَاغِبُونَ. إِنَّا إِلَىٰ رَبِّنَا مُنْقَلِبُونَ. Then وَأُوحِينَا إِلَىٰ مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَسْرِ بِعِبَادِي إِنَّكُمْ مُتَّبَعُونَ. See, then again, saying all of this, so Quraysh can understand that this is something that had happened before, right? Musa alayhi salam, he came with the same message, right? What is the message here? See, believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? He went against it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَأُوحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَسْرِ بِعِبَادِي إِنَّكُمْ مُتَّبَعُونَ. That take these people, take Bani Israel, leave at night, right? فأرسل فرعون في المدائن حاشرين إن هؤلاء لشرذمة قليلون وإنهم لنا لغائظون. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of the story of Musa alayhi salam. This is now understanding this in ayah number 65. وَأَنْجَيْنَا مُوسَى وَمَنْ مَعَهُ أَجْمَعِينَ. See, look. There is a reason why these stories were coming, my dear respected brothers and sisters, understanding why they were coming in the Quran, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling those people, right? And this is a sign for us as well, that look, these are those who decided to go against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at what happened to them. وَأَنْجَيْنَا مُوسَى وَمَنْ مَعَهُ أَجْمَعِينَ. As for the righteous people, they were saved. ثُمَّ أَغْرَقْنَا الْآخَرِينَ. As for others, no, that was not the case. They were drowned. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ. Right? Remember we said ayah. See, the word ayah is being used here. What is the meaning of an ayah? A conspicuous sign, right? Unavoidable sign. Something that you can't miss. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً وَمَا كَانَ أَكْثَرُهُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ وَإِنَّ رَبَّكَ لَهُوَ الْعَزِيزُ الرَّحِيمُ. Right? This is a sign for us, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. The body of Fir'aun. الْيَوْمَ نُنَجِّيكَ بِبَدَنِكَ لِتَكُونَ لِمَنْ خَلْفَكَ آيَةً. The body is going to be reserved until Yawm al-Qiyamah, right? For those to come after. وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Ibrahim alayhi salam came with the same message, right? إِذْ قَالَ لِأَبِيهِ وَقَوْمِهِ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ. What do you worship? قَالُوا نَعْبُدُ أَصْنَامًا فَنَظَلُّ لَهَا عَاكِفِينَ. We worship the idols. قَالَ هَلْ يَسْمَعُونَكُمْ إِذْ تَدْعُونَ. SubhanAllah, look at the logic of Ibrahim alayhi salam. هَلْ يَسْمَعُونَكُمْ إِذْ تَدْعُونَ. Okay, do they listen to you when you call onto them? أَوْ يَنْفَعُونَكُمْ أَوْ يَضُرُّونَ. Do they benefit you? Do they harm you in any way? قالوا بل وجدنا آباءنا كذلك يفعلون. See, they had no answer to this. Right? بل وجدنا آباءنا كذلك يفعلون. SubhanAllah, the same goes for some of the rituals, Allahu Akbar, that we have, in our I wouldn't say religion, but in our societies, right? We have different rituals and different customs in our societies, mainly in Pakistan and India, and a few here and there. But when you ask them, what is the benefit of this ritual? And I don't want to get into the rituals right now. When we ask them, what is the benefit of this ritual? They will say the same answer, honestly. وَجَدْنَا آبَاءَنَا. Oh, I don't know what benefit it had, but we just found our forefathers doing this. My father used to do this, my uncle used to do this, my grandma used to do this, my grandpa used to do this. The same answer at these people, right? Not comparing the two, right? Not saying they're both equal. They're both sawa in their crimes. No, I'm not saying this, but I'm just saying this is the same answer that they gave, right? Wajadana abana. Today, you have people you ask, they're doing Allahu Akbar. So many rituals are being carried out today. So many customs are being carried out completely against the teachings of Islam. But wajadana abana. For example, you have people. When people get married, they take, I don't know, like olive oil. They pour it on the streets. Has nothing to do with Islam. Wajadana abana. Oh, we just did this so my dad did it for my wedding, his dad did it for his wedding, and so on and so forth, right? وجدنا آباءنا. Right? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. I mean, قالوا بل وجدنا آباءنا كذلك يفعلون. Our forefathers did this. قال أفرأيتم ما كنتم تعبدون أنتم وآباؤكم الأقدمون فإنهم عدو لي إلا رب العالمين الذي خلقني فهو يهدي. Now, Ibrahim alayhi salam is telling them about the real Lord. Who is the real Lord? الذي خلقني فهو يهدين. The one who's created me and who's guided me. والذي هو يطعمني ويسقين. Gives me water, who feeds me, satiates me. وإذا مرضت فهو يشفين. Right? So saying that these idols, they don't give you shifa, they don't do anything to you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ فَهُوَ يَشْفِينِ. When I become ill, He cures me. وَالَّذِي يُمِيتُنِي ثُمَّ يُحْيِينِ. The one who will give me death, and after giving me death, He will give me life. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that of certain things that will happen on Yawm al-Qiyamah, right? فَلَوْ أَنَّ لَنَا كَرَّةً فَنَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Right? Ibrahim alayhi salam reminds him of a day, that day will come, that day no one can help you, right? So on and so forth. And people will say, وَلَوْ أَنَّ لَنَا كَرَّةً فَنَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I wish I can just have one last try, one last chance. فَنَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I'll become amongst believers, right? My dear respected brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life, He has given us opportunities after opportunities upon opportunities, right? Right now, we have the opportunity of giving sadaqah. We have the opportunity of praying. After this, after a person's demise, when a person passes away, there are no more chances. No matter how much a person says, oh, I wish to do this, I want to go back, I want to go back, I want to go back, you can't go back, right? فَلَوْلَا أَنَّ لَنَا كَرَّةً فَنَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. If we only had one more sign, right? But no, it will be said to them, sorry, no more chances, right? Person who hasn't given sadaqah, those who, they wouldn't give sadaqah, they will say, Ya Allah, let me go back just for one dirham. Just elaborating. Just go back so I can just give one sadaqah, just one sadaqah, that's it. Nope, sorry, you can't go back now. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً وَمَا كَانَ أَكْثَرُهُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Right? It's a great sign, but majority of people, they don't believe. Moving on to another prophet, right? Like I said, this entire, pretty much this entire surah covers this, the stories of prophets. Towards the end, we will discuss about prophets which we have not covered, right? Because Nuh alayhi salam we can cover, then again the stories of Nuh alayhi salam in Surah Nuh itself, right? Although in Surah Nuh you don't find too many details, but we'll cover it inshallah. كذبت قوم نوح المرسلين, talking about the story of Nuh alayhi salam. Is the same people they they went against. إذ قال لهم أخوهم نوح ألا تتقون. Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. Just look at this rhythm here. Right? Just look at this. When we look at starting from the beginning in ayah number 11, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we find this قوم فرعون ألا يتقون, right? The word being ألا يتقون, don't they fear? Coming to Nuh alayhi salam, the same thing, what he's preaching, ألا تتقون, don't you fear, don't you fear, don't you fear. So it is, this is the rhythm that we find in Surah Shu'ara, that all the prophets before Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they came with one message, right? What was this one message? That fear Allah Ta'ala, fear Allah Ta'ala, fear Allah Ta'ala, right? إني لكم رسول أمين فاتقوا الله وأطيعون وما أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجر إلا على رب العالمين. I don't ask for any compensation. All that I want you to do is turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. See then again, Allah. فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. Then again, the same thing. What? What? Musa alayhi salam said as well, right? Fear Allah Ta'ala, let my people go. قالوا أنؤمن لك واتبعك الأرذلون. Those people who have, subhanAllah, if you want to find an excuse, you'll find an excuse, in any way, shape, or, in any shape, right? In any way possible. If you're a person who looks for excuses, right? قالوا أنؤمن لك. This was their excuse. أنؤمن لك. Do you really want us to believe in you? واتبعك الأرذلون. Whilst you have, these أرذلون, meaning these poor people, right? You have these poor people. They're your followers. You really want us to follow you? قال وما علمي بما كانوا يعملون. وما أنا بطارد المؤمنين. No, I will not cast out and cast away these mu'minin, these believers. إن أنا إلا نذير مبين. I'm just a warner. قالوا لئن لم تنتهي يا نوح لتكونن من المرجومين. Okay. قال ربي إن قومي كذبون فافتح بيني وبينهم فتحا ونجني وما معي من المؤمنين فأنجيناه وما معه في الفلك المشحون ثم أغرقنا بعد الباقين. The same thing, right? Fir'aun, they were drowned. These people who stayed back, they were drowned as well. ثم أغرقنا بعد الباقين. إن في ذلك لآية. Another sign, right? For example, let's say you have your son, he drives recklessly. You show him a video and you tell him that, look, this person, he got into a car crash. No, look at him. He's crippled now, or he's paralyzed. Then your dad shows you, he shows you some pictures, right? Some diagrams. Look at that person. That's what happened to him, right? That's what happened to him, and he lost his life. That's what happened to he has a broken rib. He goes somewhere else. He takes some other X-rays and he tells you, look at this person. Look, this is what happened to him. He was driving recklessly, and look what happened to him. Right? So inna fi dhalika la'aya. These are all signs for Quraysh, and signs for everyone. That look, these are those who went against Allah subhanahu wa taala. وَمَا كَانَ أَكْثَرُهُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Then again, see, now understanding the rhythm of this, there are a couple of words that will come over and over again. أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. Right? أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. Every prophet that's coming is saying فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ, fear Allah, fear Allah, fear Allah. وَأَطِيعُونَ, follow me. Right? And subhanAllah, at the end, towards the end, what do we find? وَمَا كَانَ أَكْثَرُهُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Majority of them were not believers. Right? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks of Ad. كَذَّبَتْ عَادٌ الْمُرْسَلِينَ إِذْ قَالَ لَهُمْ أَخُوهُم هُودٌ. Hud alayhi salam was sent to Ad. أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. See, Allahu Akbar. أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. The same word, look at this beautiful rhythm, is being used again. أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. Don't you fear. إِنِّي لَكُمْ رَسُولٌ أَمِينٌ. That's exactly what Nuh alayhi salam said as well, right? فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ. Allahu Akbar. You look at the previous page, look at Nuh alayhi salam's story, that's exactly what he said as well, right? فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ. Fear Allah Ta'ala and follow me. And not only this, وَمَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ. SubhanAllah, the same thing again. إِنْ أَجْرَ إِلَّا عَلَى رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. I don't ask for any compensation, right? I don't ask for any compensation. Fear Allah Ta'ala, turn back to Allah Ta'ala. He warned them against so many punishments, a lot of about the wrath of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So they said, أخاف sorry, they said قالوا سواء. They said it is equal. سواء علينا أوعظت أم لم تكن من الواعظين. قالوا سواء علينا أوعظت أم لم تكن من الواعظين. Saying that, it's equal, meaning, save your breath. Whether you warn us against the punishment, about the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or not, سواء علينا. It's equal, right? وما نحن بمعذبين. Allahu Akbar. See, subhanallah, every ayah has some sort of message for us, or every ayah has a message for us, my dear respected brothers and sisters. This is what they would say. وما نحن بمعذبين. See how staunch these people were. Today you have the Muslims, Allahu Akbar, who are just day and night, nights are spent in wrong, days are spent in doing wrong, and they say, what, it's okay, we won't get punished. The same response, subhanallah, the same response. What the people of what قوم عاد said, وما نحن بمعذبين فكذبوه فأهلكناهم. Okay, فكذبوهم. They denied, they went against the Prophet. فَأَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ. We destroyed them, eradicated them, decimated, annihilated them. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً. See, Allah, this word comes again. See, it's a warning. إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً. Come on, it's a sign, and it's a sign that you can't, it's unavoidable. And subhanAllah, يَنْحِتُونَ مِنَ الْجِبَالِ. They would carve into mountains, and they would live in those mountains. Today, when you go to, I believe it's in Jordan, or it's in Jordan or close to Syria. When people go there, you can actually see their homes. It's a sign that these were, Ad used to live here. Thamud used to live here, right? They went against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did to them. وَمَا كَانَ أَكْثَرُهُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Right? Majority of them didn't believe. كَذَّبَتْ ثَمُودُ. Talking about Thamud now. Right? كَذَّبَتْ ثَمُودُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ إِذْ قَالَ لَهُمْ أَخُوهُمْ صَالِحٌ أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. Allahu Akbar. See, look at this beautiful rhythm. أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. Same thing. So understanding, Nuh alayhi salam said this, Musa alayhi salam, right? Then you have Hud alayhi salam said this, and all of this is to console Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and for the Quraysh to know and to understand this as well, that our message was not different. Whatever Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is telling you, it's not different than what Nuh alayhi salam preached. It's not any different than what Musa alayhi salam said to his nation. It's not any different than what Isa alayhi salam said to his nation. It's not any different than what Salih alayhi salam said to his nation. Right? It's all the same. Look, it's all the same. أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ أَلَا تَتَّقُونَ comes over and over again. إِنِّي لَكُمْ رَسُولٌ أَمِينٌ فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونِ. Then again, Allahu Akbar. The same thing. فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونِ وَمَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مِنْ أَجْرٍ إِنْ أَجْرِيَ إِلَّا عَلَى رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. The same thing. The same thing, subhanAllah. Then he says, فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَأَطِيعُونَ. See, then again, these people were, look at how much Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given them, right? And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Quraysh, not in this surah, in other parts of the Quran, that, these people used to say, they were so strong, يَنْحِتُونَ مِنَ الْجِبَالِ, right? Talking about them, يَنْحِتُونَ مِنَ الْجِبَالِ. They would carve into the mountains, and they would live in the mountains, right? That's their strength. SubhanAllah, that's their strength. They used to say, مَنْ أَشَدُ مِنَّا قُوَّةً. Who is stronger than them? So Allah Ta'ala tells them, O Quraysh, these people were far stronger than you. They had more than you, right? They had their gardens, they had this, they had their children, they had more blessings than you. They were stronger than you. What did Allah Ta'ala do to them? Allah Ta'ala destroyed them, right? Allah Ta'ala can destroy you as well. Look at their response. مَا أَنْتَ إِلَّا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُنَا. No, you're just like us. You're just like us. You're a human being just like us. You eat the way we do. فَأْتِ بِآيَةٍ. They wanted a clear sign. إِن كُنْتَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. قَالَ هَذِهِ نَاقَةٌ لَهَا شِرْبٌ وَلَكُمْ شِرْبُ يَوْمٍ مَعْلُومٍ. Okay. This is, a sign. This camel. Don't do anything. Don't do anything to the camel. وَلَا تَمَسُّوهَا بِسُوءٍ فَيَأْخُذَكُمْ عَذَابُ يَوْمٍ عَظِيمٍ. فَعَقَرُوهَا فَأَصْبَحُوا نَادِمِينَ. They slaughtered that camel. They didn't listen. See, then again, they didn't listen. Slaughtered the hooves, slaughtered the camel. فأخذهم العذاب إن في ذلك لآية. Then again, this is a sign. وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين. Even amongst them, didn't have too many people who believed. وإن ربك لهو العزيز الرحيم. كذبت قوم لوط عليه السلام. كذبت قوم لوط للمرسلين إذ قال لهم أخوهم لوط ألا تتقون. Right. Allahu Akbar, the same thing. ألا تتقون, why don't you fear? إني لكم رسول أمين فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. See, comes again. وما أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجر إلا على رب العالمين. Fear Allah Ta'ala, turn to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Now I'm trying my best inshallah to cover this because we have to cover Surah Naml as well. Right, so Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala throughout this surah, right, talks about different prophets. And Shu'ayb alayhi salam comes, إذ قال لهم شعيب ألا تتقون إني لكم رسول أمين فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. Turn back to Allah Ta'ala. Turn back to Allah Ta'ala. Look at this beautiful rhythm. Then again, I say this, فاتقوا الله فاتقوا الله فاتقوا الله وأطيعون. And then you see a couple of things you find that are very common in this surah, right? فاتقوا الله وأطيعون, that's very common. إني لكم رسول أمين, very common. وما أسألكم عليه من أجر إن أجر إلا على رب العالمين, common. إن في ذلك لآية, common. وما كان أكثرهم مؤمنين وإن ربك لهو العزيز الرحيم. Telling and consoling Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, warning and consoling, Allahu Akbar, warning the mushrikeen that look, this was their outcome. Consoling Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a way that look, that's every prophet went through this. Right? To tell his people believe, they wouldn't believe. Then it keeps talking about prophets after prophets, and with this, alhamdulillah, we come to the conclusion of our Surah Shura. Now getting into Surah Naml. Why is it called Surah Naml? Because it talks about the incident of the ant. Quickly, inshallah, we'll wrap this up. It talks about the story of Musa alayhi salam, and it talks about the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam. Right? So looking at this ayah number 18, قالت نملة يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم لا يحطمنكم سليمان وجنوده وهم لا يشعرون. Go back, turn back, and so that Sulaiman alayhi salam and his nation, they don't destroy you. فتبسم ضاحكا من قول الله أكبر. So who smiled? Sulaiman alayhi salam, he smiled. فتبسم ضاحكا من قولها. Sulaiman alayhi salam smiled. Why did he smile? Because he understood this. How many of us, subhanAllah, understand? Some of us can't understand the language of our own children, let alone understand the language of ants. So he understood this. That this was a ni'mah that Allah Ta'ala had given him. So he said, ربي أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وأدخلني برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. Allahu Akbar. A beautiful dua. Beautiful. This is one dua that we need to memorize. ربي أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with numerous amount of blessings, right? So we make this dua, Ya Allah, you help me. Enable me to thank you, to do your shukr, right? Whatever you have given me and whatever you've given to my parents. وَأَنْ أَعْمَلَ صَالِحًا تَرْضَاهُ. Ya Allah, enable me to do those righteous acts which may please you. وَأَدْخِلْنِي بِرَحْمَتِكَ فِي عِبَادِكَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Ya Allah, enter me, make me amongst those righteous slaves of yours through your mercy. Through your mercy, Allah, make me amongst those righteous slaves of yours. Ameen. Right? So now it comes in one riwayah, it comes in one narration. When Musa alayhi salam, when he heard this, right, he went up to the ant and he said, أما علمت أني نبي عدل. Don't you know that I am a justice Nabi? Right? Sorry. Don't you know that I'm a just Nabi? Right? I practice justice. I carry out justice. فَلِمَا قُلْتِ. Why did you say that Sulaiman and his army will destroy you? Subhanallah. Look at the advice. Look at the advice of the Namla. Okay? Subhanallah. The Namla, the ant said, O Sulaiman, you misheard me. Right? I said, وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. He said, so the Namla, so she said, the reason why I said that return back and go back, so go back to your homes, wherever, wherever your homes are. So go back to your ant hole, so Sulaiman alayhi salam and his army don't destroy you, was because I didn't want the ants to look at your ni'mah. Understanding Sulaiman alayhi salam, he was given a lot of an'um, a lot of blessings, He had authority over jinns, authority over, insan, and different things. You could understand the language of birds, and so on and so forth. So the ants said, I didn't want the ants. See, the ants were doing the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The first reason was, when after looking at you, they would be afraid, and they would stop this dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they would look at you in astonishment, and they would look at the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with. So number one, I didn't want them to stop remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's why I said go inside so they can focus on their dhikr. This was the reason. The reason wasn't so that you may destroy them, right? The second reason was I said to the ants that go inside because I didn't want the ants to look at you after looking at your favors. I didn't want them to be ungrateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thinking that we're ants, we don't have much. Allah ta'ala has given Sulaiman alayhi salam so much, the humans have so much, the jinns have so much, we're just ants. SubhanAllah, this was the advice that was given, this is the response that was given by the ant to Sulaiman alayhi salam. Okay? Then obviously getting to another story, what happened was وَتَفَقَّدَ الطَّيْرَ فَقَالَ مَا لِيَ لَا أَرَى الْهُدْهُدْ أَمْ كَانَ مِنَ الْغَائِبِينَ. So understanding there was an and it's sort of assembly, or Sulaiman alayhi salam was probably doing some head count, Allahu alam. He didn't find Hudhud. He said, where's Hudhud? مَا لِيَ لَا أَرَى. Why is it that I don't see Hudhud? مَا لِيَ لَا أَرَى الْهُدْهُدْ. Hudhud is a bird. Where is he? لَأُعَذِّبَنَّهُ عَذَابًا شَدِيدًا. SubhanAllah. He said, when he comes to me, I'm going to slaughter him. I'm either going to punish that bird or I'm going to slaughter him. Right? Or unless he comes to me with some news, or as to why he was gone. فَمَكَثَ غَيْرَ بَعِيدٍ فَقَالَ أَحَطُّ بِمَا لَمْ تُحِطْ بِهِ وَجِئْتُكَ مِنْ سَبَإٍ بِنَبَإٍ يَقِينٍ. Okay, just quickly wrapping this up. Okay, I don't want to take too much of the time. Allahu Akbar. What happened was that Hudhud, he went out searching for water. Right? Hudhud comes back to Sulaiman alayhi salam, and he tells Sulaiman alayhi salam, Ya Sulaiman, that I have great news for you. Right, so Sulaiman alayhi salam said, okay, what is that news? So now, see, subhanAllah, Sulaiman alayhi salam, he would obviously worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he would invite people to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, call them, right? He looks at, Hudhud says, I found a nation, this Qawm of Saba, the queen of Saba, whose name was Bilqis, said, I found that nation to be worshipping the sun. They're worshipping the sun. يسجدون للشمس من دون الله وزين لهم الشيطان أعمالهم فصدهم عن السبيل فهم لا يهتدون. Right. So he said that these people are against So he said, Allahu Akbar, just a second, inshallah, I'll get back to this. So Hudhud said that these people are worshipping the sun, right? So Sulaiman alayhi salam, he said, اذهب بكتابي هذا فألقه إليهم ثم تولى عنهم فانظر ماذا يرجعون. So take this letter to them, to the Qawm of Saba, right? to the people of Saba, the queen of Saba and that nation, and tell them, tell them that this is a letter, and see what happens next. قالت يا أيها الملأ إني ألقي إلي كتاب كريم إنه من سليمان وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألا تعلوا علي وأتوني مسلمين. الله أكبر. But look at the authority, look at the power, subhanallah, of Sulaiman alayhi salam. He sends this letter right? إنه من سليمان وإنه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. It's from Sulaiman, starting with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ألا تعلوا علي. Don't think you can overpower me. Don't think you can, don't think your kingdom can outtake. You don't think you can overthrow me. وأتوني مسلمين. Just surrender. That's your best option. قالت يا أيها الملأ أفتوني في أمري ما كنت قاطعة أمرا حتى تشهدون قالوا نحن أولو قوة وأولو بأس شديد والأمر إليك فانظري ماذا تأمرين. Now the people, they said, what should we do? The queen said, Bilqis said, what do we do? So they said, we have power, right? نحن أولو قوة وأولو بأس شديد. We have power, we have our might, we can do this, we will take care of this, right? وَالْأَمْرُ إِلَيْكِ فَانْظُرِي مَاذَا تَأْمُرِينَ. We can take care of them, subhanAllah. But they think they have power, but they don't know the power and the kingdom of Sulaiman alayhi salam. So she said, وَإِنِّي مُرْسِلَةٌ إِلَيْهِمْ بِهَدِيَّةٍ فَنَاظِرَةٌ بِمَا يَرْجِعُ الْمُرْسَلُونَ. So now just reading this tafsir, so she said, I will send something to them, right? She said, I will send a few hadiyah. I'll send some gifts. And this was a test, right? That if he's a king, right? If he's a true king, قبلها. He will accept them. أو نبيا لم يقبلها. But if he's a prophet, he will refuse them. Now, what were some of the things that she sent? It comes in Tafseer that she sent several of male and female servants. Sorry, 1,000, close to 1,000 servants. Right, these are the things that she sent to Sulaiman alayhi salam. وَخَمْسُمِائَ لَبِنَةٍ مِنْ ذَهَبٍ. He sent 500 bricks of gold. Right, that's how much she had. Then not only this, she sent a crown, right, that was covered in jewels, and so that was covered in pearls and sapphire and emerald and so on and so forth. So that's what she sent because she wanted to see it and she wanted to see what was going to happen. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Look at the response. Now I'm quickly going to wrap this up. I know it's a little late. Subhanallah. Just look at it. And with this, inshallah, we'll end our 19th juz as well. We're very close to the end. فلما جاء سليمان قال أتمدونني بمال فما آتاني الله خير مما آتاكم بل أنتم بهديتكم تفرحون. Allahu Akbar. If you understand Arabic, subhanAllah, this is just... So now when the when the gifts came to Sulaiman alayhi salam, he said, أتمدونني بمال. You want to help me, you want to aid me, you want to bribe me with wealth. فما آتاني الله خير مما آتاكم. Whatever Allah Ta'ala has given you in terms of nubuwah and in wealth, Allah Ta'ala has given me more than you. In order, for example, subhanAllah, just imagine this. You have a really rich person, and you tell that rich person, hey, come on, I'll give you $1 million. Right now, that the other person who's a billionaire, he looks at the $1 million. He looks at the $1 million and he laughs. And he says, you're giving me $1 million. That's like $1 million to them. It's like how cents are to us, and how pennies are to us, right? So the man in Islam is, فَمَا آتَانِي اللَّهُ خَيْرًا مِمَّا آتَاكُم. Just relax. بَلْ أَنْتُمْ بِهَدِيَّتِكُمْ تَفْرَحُونَ. You take this back, enjoy this. This is something that you can enjoy. I'm not doing word for word translation. ارجع إليهم. Go back to them. فَلَنَأْتِيَنَّهُمْ بِجُنُودٍ لَا قِبَلَ لَهُمْ. Allahu Akbar. If they don't return to us, I will send such an army. There is no beginning, there's no end to this army, sorry. There's no end to this army. SubhanAllah. Meaning that they'll soon know what I'm capable of doing, right? What I'm, what I have in my possession. Nevertheless, look, I don't want to go into too many details of this and how in the kingdom of Sulaiman alayhi salam and what were some of his possessions. But inshallah, another day we'll go over this. Nevertheless, Bilqis, now that nation, after seeing Sulaiman al-Salam and after seeing what Sulaiman al-Salam is capable of, and after seeing that he's a true prophet, all of them surrendered and they started worship, and they worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? They worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they submitted and they surrendered and became Muslims. Allahu Akbar. And then وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَى ثَمُودَ أَخَاهُمْ صَالِحًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ فَإِذَا هُمْ فَرِيقَانِ يَخْتَصِمُونَ. Another topic starts, topic of Thamud. And with this, inshallah, we conclude our 19th juz, right? There is so much to talk about if we get into details. There are a lot of tafsir. Allahu Akbar, subhanAllah. You know, this Quran is an endless ocean. You know, just talking about one ayah can take years, right? Let alone one juz and one Quran, right? SubhanAllah, the entire Quran. So, Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of what has been heard and said. Inshallah, tomorrow I will see you. And we will start with the 20th juz, أَمَّنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. The 20th juz, and we will complete our 20th juz. We still have our khatam on the 28th of Ramadan. Inshallah, and we'll cover 20th juz tomorrow. Jazakallahu khairan for your time. Just last but not least, if there are any questions, roughly just 1 minute for any questions. I know someone had a question. So just roughly 1 minute, and then we'll move on and then we'll conclude today's session, inshallah. Okay, no worries. Inshallah, I will see you folks tomorrow. Jazakallahu khairan for your time. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
This session is no longer